Today we'll
Just 1 second, Toastmaster David. I'm preparing the going live on YouTube. Just a second.
Miss, would you be able to share the PPT for this essay?
Yes, I have given multiple sharing rights.
No. Do you have the PPT slides over there? Let me just see if I have it over here. Miss, do you have it by any chance on your or Miss Sridevi, do you have it? Anyone has it over there on their system?
Okay, the SAR slides?
Yeah, the Sergeant of Arms slides, yeah.
Yep, just a second. Sridevi, do you have it handy?
Ma'am, I have it.
Oh.
All right. Okay, good, Deepansh. You can go ahead and share the slides, please.
All right then. Deepansh, could you just make it full screen?
There's an icon here at the right bottom left.
Right at the bottom.
Yeah, that you can see the icons there.
Next to the zoom, right bottom, next to the zoom and zoom out. Go down, 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 down.
Go to the right, down. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. All right then. So welcome everyone to another meeting at the Showstoppers Club, meeting number 53 on the 27th of December 2021. Welcome everyone. And as your Sergeant of Arms today, we are going to engage in a wonderful, wonderful session. But first, let's start with the club mission. Well, the mission of the Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment, which every individual member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. And this is why this lovely, lovely organization has been there for so long, approaching its 100th anniversary. Well, we're getting there as soon as possible. Moving on to the next slide. Deepak? All right, guys, because we're in the tech era, we do have some technicalities. But I am still so excited to be taking the role as the Sergeant of Arms. It's still a very, very fun role. But we do have the 4 basic rules. But before that, let's just get on to the Toastmasters promise. Well, it is to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, our pathways, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy. Hope you are enjoying our session so far, the DTM Hashif. To bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmaster membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and the rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters' core value of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Deepansh, could we go to the next one? But what are some basic ground rules we have to follow since we are in the pandemic era as of now? We are getting out of it, but we will still enjoy. Please keep your cameras open and put your cell phones on silent. Yeah, best. When another speaker is speaking, please do mute yourself and keep your focus onto the screen. In this case, we can enjoy, the other speakers can enjoy our mutual support with a round of applause when everyone finishes. There are 3 taboo topics one should not speak in Toastmasters fraternity, which is sex, religion, and politics. Apart from that, you are good to go to speak your mind. Again, we are going to enjoy ourselves today. And lastly, we found the last one. Is there any more slides? That is all. Well, that is all from the SAA David Isaac. Now, I hand over the stage to our president, Toastmaster Amrita.
Thank you, Toastmaster David. I welcome everyone to the meeting number 53 of the Showstoppers. Welcome, DTM Hashim, and I thank you for accepting the invitation and giving us an education session on the table topics today. Thank you so much. So I will just share the slides. So what is Toastmasters? Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership. It has helped many people all around the world, and that is why it has completed nearly 96 years until today. So we are in a really good organization which helps in self-development. So why Toastmasters? The benefits are multiple, and it helps in the overall development of each person. It helps you communicate with confidence. It helps you demonstrate how to lead a productive and professional meeting. It helps you learn from a cost-effective professional growth program. It helps you build team working skills which lead to employee retention. And all these are the aspects of Toastmasters, the benefits of Toastmasters. It not only is just a fortnightly meeting in our club, but it also helps you in your own professional life as well. The club mission was very well read out by Toastmaster David here. We have our online presence on the Facebook and Instagram. We had our meeting on last Saturday, and there was this thing which I had to be clarified for the eligibility of the contests. So when I discussed it with the ERA director, she has advised that for the international speech contest, one should complete level 2 pathways. For the humorous evaluation and table topics contest, any member from a club of good standing can compete. The Showstoppers Toastmasters contest is on the 28th of February, so get set. And with this, I call to order meeting number 53. Okay, can I call upon Toastmaster Nishchita here, and she will present the word of the day. She's the word master today.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you all see the screen?
Yes, Toastmaster.
Okay.
Yep.
The word of the day is revel. The meaning of the word is enjoy.
Excel sheet,
Once-
Nishita.
Sorry. Can you see now?
Yeah, just full screen.
Okay. Sorry. The word of the day is revel. Meaning is enjoy oneself in a lively and a noisy way, especially with drinking and dancing. The word origin was from Latin called rebellere, to rebel. And in Old French, they used reveler, rise up in rebellion, and revel was used in late Middle English. The synopsis of revel are adore, delight in, enjoy, fancy, like, love, to entertained by, be amused by, be pleased by, and appreciate, glory in. The antonyms of revel are hide, conceal. Like to share a few examples. They spend the evening reveling with their guest. Second one is after the game, the football players went to a bar to revel in their victory. Third one is in just a few days, thousands of people will go to downtown to revel in the city's New Year celebration. Can anyone volunteer to make a sentence using the word revel? Is Toastmaster David?
I revel while doing the job, while doing the task, while doing the role of the SAA.
Thank you.
I think
Anyone
Toastmaster
else?
Dipansh wanted to go as well.
Yeah.
The,
Yes. So I reveled after I got my driver's license 6 years ago.
that's good. Thank you. Sridevi? Toastmaster Sridevi?
Yeah. I love to revel with my family.
Thank you.
Is that okay?
Yeah. DTM Hasim, do you want to give a try?
Sure. A day here at Showstoppers is a day to revel in this meeting.
Thank you. TM Amita, do you want to go give a try?
I'm going to revel in with the thoughts of the meetings which I have conducted throughout the year after I became the president of this club.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Can I please request you to use this word as much as possible in this meeting? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nishita. That is a really good word. We have picked it up. And I'm sure everyone is going to use it in the meeting today. Thank you so much. So now I play the part of the TMOD as well today. Good evening to one and all present here. As this year comes to an end, ushering us into the new year, 2022, let's just sit back and reflect upon the year 2021. Let's personalize it and revel in it and reveal what we have achieved or what was so exhilarating for us or which was not so good about this 2021. Let us personalize it by sharing our own experiences, whether sweet or sour, whether salty or spicy, however, whatever. Let us just know each other more better this evening. For me, this year 2021 will be memorable with a pinch of salt. It has been a year of flowers and thorns for me. It is going to be memorable for me because I visited India after 3 whole years. It was so exhilarating to see my parents and my extended family giving me such a warm welcome. We just couldn't get over it. I got to celebrate Navratri, which is a 9-day fest for us. And I celebrated it along with my in-laws. It was such a beautiful Navratri, which I got to celebrate after so many years, nearly 20 years. And the not so good part of my life in the year 2021, let me talk about it sometime later or a bit later. Okay, now mentioning about the most happening and a great achievement by the country we are living in. Even I need not even say, take a wild guess. It is definitely the Expo 2020. After a 1-year delay owing to the COVID-19 pandemic, Dubai kicked off its US dollar 7 billion Expo 2020, which will run for 6 months from 1st October to 31st March 2022 on a desert site, which a media report actually says and describes it as equivalent to nearly 600 football fields. Just imagine. I'm sure most of you must have visited. If not, do visit it. Its theme is connecting minds, creating the future. I am more intrigued and mesmerized by the logo of 2020. Do you know the story of this logo? According to the reports, um, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed has discovered it, the archaeological site himself, while he was flying over the area and noticed the irregular patterns, the ripples formed on the sand dunes. That is why Sheikh Mohammed himself unveiled this logo based on the ancient gold ring at a grand ceremony at the Armani Hotel. Let me share a slide here and show it to you. Yeah. This is a massive structure which is built. This is also one of the catchy things there, that you get a passport for the expo, and you can visit many countries and it really gets stamped. This is the logo, the inspiration for the logo. It was supposed to be a gold ring which was discovered from an archaeological site. And here, this gold ring is displayed at the Saruq Al Hadid Museum, which is one of the best museums in Dubai. Speaking about the archaeological site, Sheikh Mohammed, and he says that the ring has come to symbolize and connectivity, resilience, and heritage. This is why this particular sign was made as the logo for Expo 2020. This is about the country which we live in. Next, what is the main achievement, the most mesmerizing achievement, which is going to be for the Indians also here, is that Harna Sandhu is crowned as Miss Universe this year. And she's from India. I'm so proud of her. She was crowned on December 13th, 2021 in Eilat, Israel. Harna Sandhu, the Miss Universe, was crowned. In a speech on the stage during the pageant, Sandhu urged young people to know what you are, that you are unique, and that's what makes you beautiful. Stop comparing yourself to others. This is what she said on the world stage. And it is such a motivating and such a positive statement, which we all can really imbibe in our own daily lives. And the third news, which I really am in awe of, is this. Can anybody beat this news published on the 14th of November 2021 from India? Such an adorable granny. She is a resident of Kottayam. She had never been to school and can write letters now and is so very happy. This cute, adorable 104-year-old lady, she is called Kutiyamma, and she has become an inspiration for all and proof that age is just a number, as she scored 89 marks out of 100 in the Kerala State Literacy Missions test. The test is also called as the uh, Saksharta test. The main beneficiaries of this program are illiterates, neo-illiterates, school dropouts, and those who are interested in lifelong education. Isn't it amazing? Okay, with this section, now let me hand over the stage to the Toastmaster, who is going to read out the minutes of meeting of our previous one. So here I welcome, is it Toastmaster Sri Devi or Toastmaster Deepansh who is taking over?
I'm taking over Toastmaster Amita.
All right.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. This is the club secretary, Toastmaster Sri Devi, reading out the minutes of previous meeting number 52. The theme of the day being Celebrating My Favorite Decade, held on Monday, 13th of December 2021. The meeting began sharp at 7 p.m. The acting sergeant at arms for the day, Toastmaster David, commenced the meeting by reading the club mission, a Toastmaster's promise, and the online meeting etiquettes. The baton was then handed over to Club President Toastmaster Amita. In her presidential address, she reiterated that Toastmasters' journey is a journey that transforms one's personality. She also emphasized that the club contests are around the corner, and DTM Saumya Rangarajan was there to enlighten all of us on how to evaluate in an evaluation contest. She called the meeting to order and welcomed the guests. The baton was then handed over to Toastmaster Deepansh, our very dedicated club treasurer, to read the minutes of meeting number 51. The virtual stage was then taken over by Toastmaster Sridevi, the TMOD, who opened up the theme of the day, Celebrating My Favorite Decade. This was followed by the word of the day by Toastmaster Roshni. The word was nostalgia, which means a state of being homesick. Then it was time for the prepared speeches. Our speakers for the evening were Toastmaster Nishita, who attempted her Level 1 Project 1 icebreaker titled My Journey, and Toastmaster David, who attempted his Level 4 Project 2 titled Team Technology. Then came the timer's report by Toastmaster Amita and followed by voting. The podium was then handed over to the table topics master, Toastmaster Deepansh, who entertained the attendees with interesting topics. Then came the timer's report and voting. This was followed by the evaluation segment initiated by the general evaluator, DTM Sudarshan. The evaluators, Toastmaster Midat and Toastmaster Surya, evaluated the speeches of their respective speakers and motivated them. This was also followed by the timer's report and voting. The virtual stage was then handed over to DTM Saumya Rangarajan. She emphasized on how to evaluate a speech and offer recommendations. Then came the general evaluator's report. This was followed by the presidential closing by Toastmaster Amita and the announcement of winners of the day. The meeting ended on time at 9 p.m. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sri Devi. Awesome. We could actually visualize and recall our old meeting. Thank you there. Okay, so now let me call upon a few of the showstoppers here and let me give them an opportunity to share their experiences of the year 2021. Let us see if they revel in 2021 or do they have some thing that they want to share, something more about year 2021. Who would like to go first? Toastmaster Deepansh.
Yes. So 2021 was a pretty interesting year because as the year started, I was one of the first few people to get vaccinated in January. And it was the peak of the year. It was the peak of COVID, even though we were vaccinated when we were shifting from our previous house to the new one, and we lived in the previous house from the past 13 years. So it was one of an experience for us. Like, we organized everything properly, ensured that everyone's maintaining the hygiene and everything. Moved to the new house with my parents. So I really enjoyed that, and it was kind of an achievement that we did everything perfectly fine while moving to the new house. And besides that, I another achievement for me this year was that I was able to participate in my new software business and new trading business, which is doing well, and also manage all the administrative jobs such as compliance submissions like ESR, VAT, etc. So even though it was a hectic year, but I've been able to do it pretty well. So yes, I can reveal that. Thank you.
Wow, awesome. You are into business, and good luck to you for the upcoming year also. Best wishes to you.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Raj Lakshmi. Would you like to speak? Toastmaster Raj Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Good evening. We would
Yeah,
like
good
to
evening.
know how you rate your year 2021 now that it is towards the end and you have the whole year to look back into. How do you think it was for you?
Yeah, this year 2021, it has been, means till we have 3 more days, it has been really a roller coaster ride for me. I do not remember how, means anything special I feel like for 2020, but 2021, since beginning till this date, it has been really, means full of ups and downs. But when I reach as of now, today, it's all positivity and happy living also. Because in the beginning, almost in the first quarter, we were like, yeah, this is going live, so I will not speak much. We were like, yeah, we will be settling back to India. We were in that situation. But now, yeah, things have completely changed. And the main achievement, if I need to say, the first and foremost thing is being the president of New Start Toastmasters Club. That has been a dream for me because I joined Toastmasters nearly 4 years back in ANTC. I was there only for 3 months. Then I took a gap and again joined in New Start in 2019. And from there, the journey, like 2.5 years, now become now the president of New Start. That is a great achievement, what I feel, and I'm trying my maximum to bring up the club. And another one is, yeah, recently I switched to my job. That is another great achievement, what I feel. In this, now I am in Dubai for nearly 13, 14 years. In this 13 years, we were living in Al Nada. After 13 years, in this 2021, we moved to TCOM. So when these all are plus, means there were so many challenges we faced, especially during this year. Then at the end, by God's grace, things are going smoothly. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raj Lakshmi. Best wishes to you. I'm sure 2022 is going to be even more greener to you for you. Nice. Okay, Toastmaster Siva, we would like to hear from you. Good evening to you. How was year 2021 for you? Once you look back, only 3 days to go. Yes.
Yeah, correct. 2021, I would say for me, it's a year of patience at Toastmasters because most of the times, almost for 7 months, we work from home. So that's the time I really realized how much privileged we are working in offices, because for very small things, my wife and me, we fought several times because she wanted me to help, and kids also same time, they're also studying at home and they don't listen, and she wants me to help. So more work at home also, sometimes I help, but for many things we quarreled. Now, thank God, my boss and we all were asked to come back to offices. Now the situation is much better. Now, with all that experiences, what I realized is it is better not to fight for increments with boss. Just have some peaceful life. If we ask for more increment, more pressure will come from this side as well. So patience is the important key that I learned in 2021. I think that experience will go on even in 2022. One way it is good for me. Thank you, Atoshma Shamita.
Great, great, great. Yes, definitely. The pandemic has instilled patience in each one of us, especially the men. They have seen the life of women at home, and they can never ever say that, what do you do at home? You're just sitting at home. So this is an achievement which the pandemic has gracefully given us to the ladies. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Seva, and best wishes to you for the upcoming year. Okay, and we can have someone also, one more person. Anybody? Nishita, yes, go ahead.
Year 2021 has been a very lucky year for me because it was my 15 or 20 years dream to come to Dubai. I don't remember when I was in college day, engineering days, my civil engineering days, or during the work days, when I'd seen a BBC documentary like how they built the Palm Jumeirah. So I was so fascinated with the challenging construction and everything. I always wanted to work on the challenging projects like that. But we tried, but we never got the opportunity. But in 2021, we are in Dubai, and I'm looking for a job in Dubai now. So I feel like it's my, like all my friends used to say they like Switzerland, Paris. I was the only one who used to say I like Dubai. I want to go to Dubai. I was like that. So even today, my husband keeps on saying that I've just come here for because it's your dream and it's not my dream. So yeah, it's my 15, 20 years dream. It's being fulfilled, and it's closer to India because we used to stay in UK for 12 13 years. Dubai is closer to India. 2020-21 has taught me a lot, and it has also taught me how to reveal in, because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. So enjoy your moment now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nishita. Yes, definitely. Dubai is a dream city. I have seen many cities, many countries around the world, but definitely Dubai is the best. It caters to the need of the public so well. Definitely. Thanks to the visionary leader we have, Sheikh Mohammed, His Highness. Yes. And best wishes to you for the year 2022. And I'm sure you will get a great job, but do not leave the showstoppers be with us. Okay, now it's time to call upon the DTM who happily agreed at one go itself to be a guest and deliver and render an education session on table topics. I'm sure it's going to benefit each one of us. Be ready with your pen and paper to note down the tips and tricks which he is going to give it to us today. And after this, if you all are ready, we can have a table topics relay in which each one of you can give a topic to one another, and at least 5 to 6 people are here, so we can have that session if you all wish. Talking about DTM Hashim, he is an IT consultant by profession based out of Dubai for last 9 years and a Toastmaster for 7 years. Now listen this, hear this out. He has achieved DTM thrice not once, twice, but thrice. Won 7 prizes at district competitions, and this year's District 105 champion for the international and evaluation speeches. So aren't we lucky to have him with us this evening? Let us applause and welcome DTM Hashim. Over to you, DTM.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amita. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session on table topics. So it was great to hear all of you speak about what you achieved in 2021. What was your highlight? Honestly speaking, after 2020, my highlight of 2021 is that at the end of the year, we're all healthy and kicking, and we're at least looking forward to 2022. I think that itself is a great achievement, because the whole world has suffered a lot, as you've seen over the last 2 years. So just like Shiva was telling about patience, I think gratitude is something that is probably ingrained in all of us a little bit more than it was previously. So I think that's something great to look forward to. So on the topic of table topics, now quick question to everyone. Just raise your hand. How many of you are mortally afraid of table topics? Yeah, when the table topics master comes up and asks for volunteers, everybody hides under the table, switches off your camera. Suddenly you get that phone call. Yeah, I used to be one of those as well. But thank you for a few of you who raised your hand. You make me feel at home. Those of you who did not raise their hand, who are confident in table topics, yeah, you're going to be sacrificed today. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let us start with, going back to school in terms of what a table topic is. So whenever you have these table topics masters come up on stage and present this session, they always introduce table topics as, this is your impromptu speaking session. You're given a topic and you've got to speak about it for 2 minutes, etc. Right? Let's keep that definition aside. Impromptu speaking, big words, all of that. Let's make it very simple. Now I'm going to give you a definition of table topics, and you can see if you agree with me and if that sounds better than what you've heard before, right? So what I say is, table topics, the table topics master gives you a sentence and you have to give your opinion on it. That's about it. So it's a sentence on which you have to give an opinion. Now, coming from India, I think most of us are from India. We have 3 opinions on everything. On Sunday, we have 4 opinions. So giving an opinion is the easiest thing that we can do. And what is presented to us is just a simple sentence, a group of words, which one person says. That's it. There is no right answer. There is no wrong answer. If somebody likes your answer, they're not going to give you a PhD from Oxford University. It's not going to be evaluated by a panel of, philanthropists or somebody of the other. No, nothing of the sort. It is just a sentence and you are asked to give your opinion on it. I think that's something each one of us can easily do, right? Give your opinion on a sentence. Yeah, that's all a table topic is. So now that we've put all this clout aside of everything that comes associated with a table topic, let's actually try something out. Now, you've always seen the table topic master will come up on stage and say, this is the most fun and exciting segment of the meeting, right? Yeah, it's only for him. For everybody else, it's the scariest part of the meeting. We all know that. And then he will smile at you, and then as if he's your best friend in the world, and he's going to, I'm giving you an easy topic. And when he says that, you're done for, right? I mean, this is going to be worse than 3 COVID shots at once. And then the table topics master will come up to you and then he will give you that simple topic. Okay, let me sacrifice somebody who's willing to be sacrificed today. Let me try Dipanshu. I think he's smiling. So let's sacrifice Dipanshu, right? So the table topics master comes up to you, Dipanshu, and says, Toastmaster Dipanshu, your topic is rumination over life leads to emancipation of the soul. Rumination over life leads to emancipation of the soul. Go for it, Dipanshu.
I need to Google what emancipation means.
Your time has started. You're speaking now. So just go ahead. I mean, forget about Googling it. Whatever you think it is, just go with it. Don't Google it. You don't need to know the meaning. Nobody else knows the meaning either. So whatever you say is the meaning. It's like speaking Chinese. I mean, you can speak whatever you want. Nobody else understands it. So they will just presume, okay, maybe you're right and nod their head. And anybody who does not know sees other person nodding, they'll nod along with them. So you go ahead. It doesn't matter.
Can you repeat the sentence again at least?
You're making it difficult for me now. Okay. Rumination over life leads to emancipation of the soul.
Okay, so what I understand with the sentence is that one room.
Okay. Do you want me to give you an easier one? Easier one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Toastmaster Dipanshu, your topic is microbiology is the elixir of life.
Yeah, this one's easier. Okay, so
All right, go for it.
yeah.
Go for it.
So what I feel is that microbiology is a very important part of life because microbiology is something that is related to biotics, and it helps in forming different kinds of medicines. Now, currently we are going through the pandemic stage of life, and it's been it's going to become 3 years by the end of next year, and it's not going to go out anytime soon. So the more research and more investment that's done in research and development, the better it is to develop medicines or vaccines or protect ourselves and avoid any kind of diseases in long
Perfect,
term.
perfect. Dipanshu, I'm going to stop you right there. Let's give Dipanshu a big round of applause, everyone. All right, he picked a couple of big topics, but he was able to tackle it. So kudos to you. What I want you to think about is, I mean, the answer doesn't really matter. What I want you to think about is just one thing, right? Once Dipanshu was given the topic, I just want you to observe what actually happened. And the first thing was, when he got microbiology is the elixir of life, he realized that microbiology was probably something he could speak something about. Doesn't matter what it is, but he could speak something about. Which brings me to the first concept of table topics. That's called the 3 T's of TT. I know TT has only 2 T's, but well, my concept has 3. So just bear with me here. The first T is trust. It doesn't matter what the topic is. Like I said, it's just a sentence. It's nothing else. It's just a sentence which you're giving your opinion on. So trust yourself to be able to give your opinion on anything that is presented to you. Doesn't matter what it is. Let him come up with rumination and emancipation and all kinds of things under the sun. Trust that you will be able to speak something about it. Once you win the battle of trust, half the battle is over. The rest is just English. All right. Battle is in your mind. Trust that you can answer, you can give your opinion on any sentence that is presented to you. When he heard the second one, microbiology, something in there, one word clicked, and he was confident, okay, fine, I'll speak something about it. The second T is think. Break that topic down and see what in this can I attack. So he got microbiology is the elixir of life. He didn't even bother with elixir or life or whatever. He just went behind microbiology. I got this one word. I'm going to attack it. Think what can you attack in this topic and go after it. Right? Go after it. There will be something in that sentence that you can speak about. Nobody is going to give you a sentence that you can speak absolutely nothing about. Right? Even if it was the first one, rumination over life leads to emancipation of the soul. You can always go up and say, I have no idea what rumination means. And emancipation is something that just blows my mind altogether. But guess what? I know something about life and I can speak about it. And I know that if I treat my life properly, my soul is going to be free. That's actually what emancipation means. Just set your soul free, setting free. Right? But I mean, the idea is that you pick words from it that you can actually speak about and go after that topic. So think, what can you do with that sentence and just attack it. The third and most important part of T, what I want you to observe is when it was the first topic, Dipanshu couldn't speak about it. The second topic, he got one word, he started speaking, and then you saw how the ideas came. He started with what microbiology is, then he spoke, connected it with what the current times are, the COVID times. The ideas kept coming. The third T of TT is talk. There's not going to be a perfect opening. You're not going to get the entire answer in your head before you start speaking. You have to start speaking. And once you speak, your energy flows, the ideas start flowing, then you will be able to continue. If you wait and plan and think about, force yourself to find that perfect answer, it's not going to happen. You have to start. If you start, the ideas start flowing. So the 3 T's, like I said, are trust, think, and talk. Right? And it doesn't matter what it is, as long as you believe, yes, I will be able to. Microbiology is the elixir of life. Start out well and say, okay, I don't know much about microbiology. I have no idea what elixir means, but I know something about life. And I can say that life is not about nuclear physics or thermodynamics. Life is whatever you make out of it. Then you have your story about it, whatever it may be. So what you have things to say, right? So trust, think, and talk. If you win this is done much before you go on stage, much before the table topics master gives you a topic. This is in your mind. And if you can get through this, it doesn't matter what the topic is, you will be able to attack it. All right. So now the purpose of today's session is not just to attack a topic, it's to do really well at it, right? It's not just about survival, it's about thriving. So the first thing that I would like you to look at, when you get the chance, pick out the table topics judges ballot, right? So it gives you a breakup of the different scores that are there for each section. What you will observe is that the biggest marks, around 55% of your marks, are for content. What does that mean? That means you're not going to win your table topics by elevating your voice or throwing your hands around with gestures or your expressions on stage. Those complement, of course, but the crux of your scoring is going to come from the content, the logic that you present. So it's all about the idea that you have, the stories that you present, or the content that you present. That's going to win you the day, not your antics or actions on stage, right? So in table topics, remember, content is king. So your logic is what's going to separate you from your competitors. All right. So how do we build this content? Now, there are many techniques that you can use, and if you've seen other people come and present to you education sessions on table topics, there are a few common techniques that can easily help you build content. And I'm going to cover a few of those today. But before I start, is anybody actually timing me? Because otherwise I might speak till New Year. So it's a good idea if somebody will show me a red when I've,
Yes,
when it's
Toastmaster
done, right?
Nishtita. Yeah.
Yeah, fair
Toastmaster
enough.
Nishtita, she's the timer. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
She'll be doing.
Thank you. Sure, perfect. Thank you, Nishita. All right. So the first technique that I want to speak about is called PREP. You might have heard of it. PREP stands for position, reason, example, position. For the foodies out there, you can also call it OREO, which is opinion, reason, example, opinion. So position, opinion, they both pretty much mean the same thing, right? The idea is when a topic is given to you, say, for example, we have a topic, honesty is the best policy. Simple topic. The way to attack this topic once it's given to you is first you establish what your stand on this topic is, right? So do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Do you believe in it? Do you think it's right? Whatever it is. So honesty is the best policy. Yeah, I believe in my life that honesty is definitely the best policy. All right. And then you give a reason. Why do you think so? So I think so because whenever I have tried to take shortcuts or do something which is perhaps not right, it has never yielded me good results. But as long as I stayed true and honest, things always worked out for me. That's my reason. Can I give an example to support my stand? Maybe a small, short anecdote, an incident, a story, whatever it may be. An example to support what I'm saying. Once I'm done with that, come back to the topic and say, this is why I believe that honesty is the best policy. Simple technique that you can use, and it is applicable to pretty much any topic that you can put there. right? So this is a technique that you can apply. It works pretty much for any topic. Very simple. State your stand, give an example, state your reason, give an example, and then come back to the topic again, right? So remember this and see if you can apply it to any of the topics that we will have today. Now let's look at another technique that you can simply use, and this is the timeline. The timeline, when I say timeline, what I mean is maybe past, present, future, or before and after. This is a technique that can be applied to quite a few topics, but the idea would be to take your topic and put it onto a timeline. See if you can put a before and after to it, or a past, present, future state to it. And that helps you to get ideas on how you can build this topic, right? So for example, let's say the topic is something related to internet has changed our life, or something of that sort, something which has technology. It's very easy to put on a timeline. You could say, before we used to do this, now we do it this way. That is why I say that, okay, internet has changed your life. This can also be applied to things like, television for children. Yeah, before they used to play outside and be very active, etc. Now with the influx of television or online gaming or internet, etc., they spend more time at home, less time outside, etc. So a before and after, past, present, future, before and after, easily applicable to many topics. So think, if you feel that your topic can be put on a timeline, it's a perfect way to do it. Let's look at another technique that can be used. It's a simple one. It's called example, example, example. Now, what I mean by this is, there are some topics wherein you don't really think of an explanation or don't want to elaborate on it, but you can easily give examples to support it. So if you have a topics like, for example, what makes you smile? It's a common one that is used in many clubs, etc. What makes you smile? It's difficult to go into the science of it, or I have serotonin or some kind of acids and all inside which make you smile. Forget about it. Give an example, right? So when I go out to the park, it makes me smile. Or when I see my kids playing, makes me smile. When India wins a cricket match, it makes me smile. When I hear my favorite music band or my favorite song playing on the radio when I'm driving, it makes me smile. There are many examples that you can go to. So directly jump into an example to substantiate your stand on the topic. That's an easy way. Example, example, example. I give 3, but it's completely up to you how long your anecdote is. You can have 1 example, you can have 2, you can have 4. That's completely up to you. This way, you directly dive into the topic. One thing I want you to remember is, if you go for examples, make sure you touch base on what the topic was. Don't forget the topic, and remind the audience also what the topic was. So one thing I'd like you to remember is that a table topic is in the end a speech, right? And what do we know about speeches? Speeches have an opening, a body, and a conclusion, right? Always remember that structure. Try to have an opening which is related to the topic, grabs people's attention and gets them into your speech. Then have the body of the speech where you're giving either your explanation or your story, whatever it may be, and bring back the topic at the end as a conclusion. Now, a good technique that you can use, especially in contests, is to go against the topic or find something that is out of the topic that can be put in there. Now, I'll tell you why this is advantages at times, because in a table topics contest, as you know, everyone is given the same topic, right? So you have the draw of lots and you have your sequence. So you're put in a separate area. Either if it's on a Zoom call, it's in a breakout room. Otherwise, it's physically in a separate room. And you are called as per your sequence. And everyone speaks on the same topic. The ideas, if they are common, it's quite normal that the judges would have heard exactly similar stories or similar incidents again and again, same stand on the topic. So if you deviate from that and go against it, you have a chance to stand out. But you have to be careful that, your logic is strong enough to convince the audience. Of course, you have to be able to deliver the topic in the opposite direction. But standing out from the topic, from the others, is an advantage to you in terms of a contest. I'll give you an example. Now, there was this, for example, if we take the same topic, like honesty is the best policy. Obviously, morally, we all want to agree with that topic and say, yes, honesty is the best. But you could take a stand which is a little off track and say, in today's world, it's more important to be smart than to be honest. Or you could give an example of white lies, wherein in order to save somebody's, keep up somebody's heart, or, keep them motivated, tell them small lies. It's not a crime, right? So you can find situations. If, for example, if the topic is hard work leads to success, you might, many people would agree with that topic, but you might want to say, it's not hard work. It's smart work in today's world, which leads to success. It's probably creativity which leads to success, not just hard work. So you can take a stand which is a little offbeat from the topic, and this could prove advantageous to you, right? So this is another technique that you can use to actually cover your table topic. So we're done with all these. You can apply any of these techniques when you are trying table topics today. I just want to cover a few things that you need to remember for your actual table topics contest day. You want to get there, fresh, have your food or it's anything you want to have before in time, so that your energy is not low. You need to be at a good energy level in order to do well. Don't feel the need to rush in and jump in and speak. Take that 10 seconds of time that you have, hear the topic clearly, and then speak about it. Hearing the topic is your responsibility, by the way. The table topics master will repeat the topic twice. So he will say it once and then he will repeat it again, but you have to hear it carefully. There is a true incident. Yours truly was in the district table topics contest in, I think, in 2016 or 15, I forget the date, but the idea, the topic given was pain is temporary. Well, in being my first contest and all, I heard it as paint is temporary. I gave a beautiful speech about how my brothers and I painted the wall of our house. And even now, when we go back to India, we look at that wall and remember those beautiful days of how we did all that painting and all of that. Oh, sentimental story. I lost badly that day. The topic was pain. So you have to remember to listen to the topic carefully. If you haven't heard it the first time, take a step closer to the table topics master so that he or she will understand that you haven't heard it, right? And they will repeat it slowly. So try to look at them and move closer in case you have not heard it. Use your imagination when it comes to table topics. Be creative, try to be different. I already mentioned to you that being different helps in the contest. So try to do something with the topic, try to be creative, imaginative. Don't be very rigid in the way you do it. Current affairs, something that has happened recently, something that you've heard of, maybe the theme of the meeting, or if it's a contest, maybe the location that the contest is in, etc. These, if you can incorporate into your speech, they're good. Read the newspaper that day. You get ideas from it. You should actually read the newspaper every day, but that day, make sure that you've read it, right? So you have some ideas. Confidence, that is mandatory, right? So make sure you work on your confidence. How do you do that? Well, by trying topics during your club meeting. Don't shy away from it. Always attempt it. Even if you're not the one who's speaking, you can always sit back and just build ideas in your mind. If this was given to me, I would try it like this, right? You have this opportunity always with you. What you should not do, don't try to be too perfect. Don't try to use props or do anything else that you have on your coat, etc. Most people like to use a quotation during table topics, right? It's not necessary. If it comes naturally, go for it. Don't have to waste your time thinking about it, trying to, that quote would have been perfect for this topic. What is that? Forget about it. Just plan what you're going to say. It's a contest. You're on stage in front of 100 people. You're not going to remember what you said a minute back. So forget about what Gandhiji said 80 years ago. If it comes naturally, go for it. Otherwise, forget about it. And don't look up or down. The judges and the audience and everybody who needs to hear you is in front of you. So look at the audience, except the big judge there, of course, but everyone else is right in front of you. So that's where you should be looking at, right? So I've given you a couple of techniques that you can use. Remember the 3 T's: trust, think, and talk. A few techniques that you can use, some do's and don'ts. Even if you don't remember a thing from what I've said today, say you forgot everything completely, there's just one point I want you to remember. And that goes back to the definition that I said. This is just your opinion on a sentence. So the only thing you need to remember is to be yourself. Just trust yourself and give your opinion on that sentence. Things will work out. We survived 2021. I think a table topic should be a walk in the park. So I hope these tips are useful for your next table topic session. If we have any questions, we could very quickly address that. Otherwise, Nishita is going to throw that red card at me now. She's already hidden it under her table. This guy's not stopping. He had warned me before, but he's not stopping. So if you have any questions, we could very quickly take those before we move on to the next session.
DTM Hashim, like the session was really good because I love the way you speak in terms of engaging and making those quirky jokes in between. Like that's something I really like. No, your techniques are actually, it's not particularly a question per se, but like the techniques are really useful. Like it's basically giving us a cheat code, which I think it's personally very useful to like do for a table topic session. So I just have to say, I applaud you for that. Like it's a very good reasoning I'm giving because all of us here can like for our club contest and for the area contest can use it in a much better. So I applaud, and this has been a very useful and more engaging session.
Thank you, David. So these techniques are something to get you started out. The idea is once you get used to it, obviously you don't need to go back to any techniques. You can just wing it and still come up with some really good responses. But just to get you started out, they will be helpful for you. But like I said, the important thing is that you actually try and go up on stage. There's no replacement for stage time, right? So you got to go up and do it. So yeah. Right. If we don't have any other questions, I think I'll hand it back to Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Amita. If you do have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat, or you guys know you can reach out to me at my WhatsApp number. You can just buzz me and be happy to help you out. All right. So thank you so much for listening, and all the best to you. Back to Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Amita.
Thank you so much, DTM Hashim. Really, it was an insightful, informative, and educative session with laughter. It was not the boring kind of that people don't, it just is hitting the head and going back. It has gone in. And I think I'm the one who really is a ducking duck when it comes to table topics. I try to avoid it as much as I can because I go totally blank if somebody asks me to talk over a topic. I'm not prepared that way. But yes, I will surely try with all these techniques, and if not to the contest, but definitely in all the meetings. Thank you so much. Anybody, any question, feel free to write in the chat box, or you can directly write it to DTM Hashim. Any questions anybody wants to put up?
Actually, one question popped up in my mind. I can ask, right?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, DTM Hashim, suppose speaker A really spoke well, but only for 1 minute. Okay, speaker B spoke for 1 minute 30 seconds, but comparatively not okay with the speaker A. So who will be selected here? 1 minute 1.30. Equal.
Yeah, I got your point. Question,
Yeah.
Raj Lakshmi. Now the judges, you usually have say 5 or 7 judges in the group who are going to give their votes for those speakers. Now judges don't look at time. First of all, they don't see the time, so they will not know how much time each person has spoken. So timing is not a criteria for judging in a contest, at least. For during your club meetings, it's actually a popularity vote than anything else. My suggestion always would be that ignore timing and vote for the one who has spoken well. That's more important, that that your logic is good, that your delivery is good, and you've covered that topic well. That is more important than how much time you have spoken for. Even if they have spoken just for the minimum time, still if their speech was really good, I think you should always vote for that person. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. In case you have any question pops up, feel free to write it in the chat box. I'm sure each member here is going to benefit out of this session here. So now let us try our hand immediately with these tips and tricks if we can. And let us get into the relay table topic session. Would you all like to have this session? So you can, yeah, just throw a question to each other and let us try our hand. Who will start? Sri Devi, would you like to start? Here, the Toastmaster Nishrita, who is the timer, she will time each one of you. The green card will be shown at 1 minute. At 1.5, the amber goes, and red goes at 2 minutes. You need to stop. A grace time of 30 seconds is given to each. After that, the Zoom master will mute. Okay, Toastmaster Sridevi, you can throw a question to anybody here.
Yeah. Toastmaster David, which is the festival you love to celebrate as a child, a teen, and even today as an adult? Which is the festival you love to celebrate as a child, as a teen, and even today as an adult?
Well, Toastmaster Sridevi, I think the best festival for me, which I loved celebrating the most, was Christmas, because that is the time of the year where we all get together as a family, and in my personal opinion, is just enjoying the meals that we have. Like, this is the one year that my brother, my mother cook up the best. Like, they make good food throughout the year. I'm not criticizing that, but and Christmas time is when we have my favorite food is exactly like, it's a running gag in my family right now that Christmas is the only year David, the meal is just for David. So we have my favorites such as the sweet potato mash, the chicken Wellington, ham, the turkey, and pumpkin pie as the dessert. No one else in my family particularly considers that their favorite. It's basically my favorite because at the end of the day, I'm the one who eats it the most. And when we have our leftovers, that is the best time, well, for me and my family as well. So I would say Christmas is something I enjoyed celebrating as a child, maybe for the gifts aspect. I love getting Power Rangers. As a teen, experiencing and getting a nice phone to take photos with. And as an adult, just spending time with my family as well. That's why I think Christmas is the best time and best holiday festival I like to celebrate. Thank you. Over to you, David.
You can throw a question at somebody, David. You can ask.
Toastmasters Siva. Let's get you on board the train. So, Toastmaster Siva, I want to ask you, was the last book you read inspiring, rebelling? What did you feel when you read the last book? And was it as inspiring as you thought it would be? Was the last book you read inspiring?
Okay, thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. The last book that I read was Be Brief. That's the book I read because in my childhood days, whenever my teacher asks me why you came to school late, because I usually go late, I used to tell that I helped my mom because she is sick, and then my dad has to go to agriculture field, so I helped him. In between, I went to help my grandparents on the way, so I came late. So when he asked me some question, I used to tell all these situations, and then I used to tell him that, okay, that's how I came late here. So he used to ask me, okay, why can't you be brief? Okay, because of those situations, I heard all these things. Only finally you are giving the thing. So you could have told me your family situation was not good at home. You supported them. That's why you came late. So And not only that, even in my first employment, I used to write mails. Okay, because of this situation, I used to give the introduction itself so long that my employer used to feel really so bored. Then I realized in this idealistic world, we have to be really brief. The lesser we convey, the more people realize. And if they wanted more, they will come back to us asking for more. That's why I read the book. In that book, How to Be Brief, giving caption of what you're going to speak, and then giving some 1 or 2 points and conclude it. I felt like that book is really very good book. Of course, that book will not work for you in home situations, like if you want to communicate to your wife or spouse, don't be brief. But that is in general. Apart from home situations, everywhere it works. Over to you, Toastmaster David.
Toastmaster Siva, I think that was nice. You can throw a
You
question to anyone
yeah.
over here.
Okay. Okay, so I would like to throw a question to Toastmaster Amita. Toastmaster Amita. Toastmaster Amita, do you like red color or blue color? Do you like red color or blue color? Why? Toastmaster Amita.
I will say that I like the red color and the blue color equally. Red color because it is my favorite, and the blue color because it is my husband's favorite. I'm wearing a blue lined striped t-shirt today, and it is one of my favorite t-shirt because I look good in it to my husband. I love the red color because it is a color of love. It is a color of passion. And I like to decorate my home with the red color, especially on the Valentine's Day and when it's our anniversary. So I will say that I like both the colors equally, the red color as well as the blue color. All right. Now I need to throw a question to somebody. All right, Toastmaster Nishchita. What is your most memorable day of your college, in your college days? Which is your most memorable day?
My most memorable day is in my second PUC. I told my parents I'm going to tuition, but I bunked the tuition and we were partying in a friend's place. But it was my bad luck. My parents had gone to tuition to pick me up from the tuition. That day is the most unforgettable day because even today, my cousins, my family, everyone teases me. Even though they have bunked so many classes, so many classes, they have done all naughty things, but I just done the one naughty thing in my life, and I was caught red-handed. So that's unforgettable for me.
Great. You can ask somebody. You can ask a question to anybody.
What is the best prank you have played on someone? Toastmaster Hashim? Hasim?
Yeah, sure. Can you repeat that question, Nishita?
What is the best prank you played on someone?
The best prank I played on someone. Okay, I've played many pranks actually, but I think one of the best the one I remember right now is asking Dipanshu that question right now. I think that's probably the best prank that I've played for, at least for today. But he was game enough to, go along with it and, try to answer that question. I didn't really expect him to answer that. It was just to get my 3 T's of TT across. But, pranks are fun. I think I've more than me playing pranks on someone, I've had many people play pranks on me. I usually like to play along and, just see what's the end of it. Sometimes you already know what's going to happen, but you still go along with it. I've got two small kids now, and their favorite part is to either hide and jump and scream, and sometimes I feel like I'm going to get a heart attack any moment soon. But yeah, they enjoy it, and the prank is fun when you play along and you are part of it. Pranks which hurt people is not good, and I think that's something we should all try to avoid. So if we are able to play pranks which can be taken in the right spirit and enjoyed, then I think they're always fun. So yeah, Dipansh, I hope that question didn't scare you and that you are the braver for table topics after that. Thank you, Nishita, for that. Is there anyone who hasn't spoken in table topics yet who I can throw a question to? Dipansh, okay, you know what I'm coming up with, right? So Dipansh, do you like cricket or football? Easy question.
Yeah, so there are two answers to this. Okay. I like both the sports, but when it comes to playing, I prefer football. And when it comes to watching, I prefer cricket. Why? Because being from India, it's very common to watch cricket matches. And when I was living in Muscat, I lived in Muscat for 10 years before moving to Dubai. So when I was living in Muscat during my middle school and primary school days, it was a building with a lot of Indian people. Muscat has a similar community like Dubai with a lot of Indians. So it used to be all of us from the same school. We used to go down, we used to play football. And initially, I was I didn't know how to play football, so I was just the goalkeeper. But slowly, I developed my skills, so I was able to be a defender and then a midfielder, and so on. Coming to cricket, I've learned to play cricket only during this lockdown because before the lockdown, I did not know how to bowl properly. So we live in a villa, and my dad trained me how to bowl and how to bat properly. So yeah, now I've started liking cricket as well. But again, coming to watching, I prefer watching cricket over football, and to play, now I like both of them equally. Thank you. Okay, so I can throw the last question, right? Yeah. So Toastmaster Sridevi, what are your opinions on the new weekends in UAE?
Well, good evening, everyone. The weekend is bonding time for the family, and with the new weekend announcement, everything is going to change, especially the time we spend with our kids. As of now, the announcement from the school is yet to be made. So I am doubting if the office weekend and the school weekends would match or not. Otherwise, it will be difficult for parents to spend time with the kids. And moreover, my husband's office has branches in Oman and Saudi and Bahrain. So their weekends have not changed. So it means he would be working on Friday and maybe on Sunday too. So with the only option of Saturday being a weekend. And the kids will also be having altogether a different timing for the school. As of now, I have heard that the school timings may get longer, and that will be really tough for the little ones. Even if they are not attending school for 3 days of the week, longer school timings is going to be tougher. So according to me, the new weekend schedule is will take time to get along with. Thank you.
Great. So we must ask, thank you one and all here. And I would like to ask DTM Hashim here, what is your review about, are we on the right path of imbibing the teachings which you have just delivered? Are we are we on the right path? Of course, lots of practice is required. But
Absolutely. I think, the plus factor from the relay session that you had just now is that everyone spoke, and everyone was able to at least attempt that sentence confidently. I think that's the best you can do. See, the techniques and all are just to make your content, make it easy for you to develop content if you need it. However, the most important thing is the first part, the trust, the confidence that you have. And I think that's out there for everyone to see. So just keep at it, keep practicing, and it'll be a walk in the park soon.
Thank you. It gives definitely boosts us. Thank you. Okay, can I call upon Toastmaster David now to give a review of any book which he has read? I had kept this session with one more guest who had agreed, Mr. Afzal, but he's not here. He's not able to join us, but Toastmaster David is ready to give a book review.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the David segment where Toastmaster David has come back to give his review about one of the books he's recently read. Well, you couldn't say recently because I've read this book. Well, I know I read it a long time ago, but just to confirm. Yes. Oh, the first page of the book says, "Dear David and Joshua, from Uncle Samir and Auntie Swarna, 25th December 2009. Wow, I got this book 2 days ago. A long time ago, almost 11 years back. Oh, wow. Okay, I read it quite a while back. So the book is called The Dangerous Book of Heroes by Gon Igudilin and David Igudilin. Two brothers, which I butchered their names with. 100% I butchered their names. I pray that they forgive me wherever they are, alive or dead. But don't worry, I love your book instead. So what is this book about? Like The Dangerous Book of Heroes? I mean, is it like a fantasy book? Is it a fiction book? Is it a non-fiction book? What is this book? Well, it's like a mini autobiography written in simple English about heroes of the world. I'm not saying superheroes. I'm not saying people who I'm not saying people who had superhuman abilities to run, let's say, 100-meter dash in 6 seconds. That's not possible. We have Usain Bolt that keep that record over there. But this book is about people who made a difference, like who challenged back then, the norm. Such as one of my favorite chapters in this book is by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. They climbed Mount Everest. So we have stories like that in this book. But let me just give you guys the synopsis on the back page, because this part I realized is the most useful part of anyone who's reading a book or giving a review about the book, because everyone else gets to know about what it's about. And I'm not just rambling on for time allocated. Discover stories of heroism and adventure. The men and women in this book were in some cases possessed with superb self-confidence and personal belief. Wow. Others doubted their every action to the point where they could hardly act at all. For some, their heroism is contained in a single moment, while others seem to have lived a life that stands out like a thread of gold. Similarly, my career at university. Some names have been passed on from generation to generation: the Duke of Wellington, Walter Ray, William Blow, Douglas Bader. There are many others you may not know of, quiet heroes such as the women of the SOE, definitely not the SAAs, the men of Bristol, the few. Yet each of their lives illustrate how far wild courage, single-minded obsession, and self-belief can take you. They are all our stories. Who we are today and who will be depend on those golden threads, on those who turn aside when it really mattered. I think it's a pretty interesting book, guys. Well, guys, my fellow Toastmasters. I would like to just talk on my favorite chapter rather than give you a detail about every single part of this book. Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay is the one that struck with me even when I read it first in 2009, because that was when we talked about climbing Mount Everest. That itself was a very challenging aspect. Climbing the highest peak in the world, not many people can do it. Not many people have tried it out back then, and many people who did try have died. So in this book, you get a detailed account on how they climbed the highest peak in the world with, in their time, let's be honest, did not have much equipment. Here we can't do anything without everything being perfect. There they did it with a single oxygen tank and a bunch of icicles. Pretty unique. But what can I say about this book? This book has just been my childhood, really. It showed me how people can be unique, people can be impressive in their own field. And like the synopsis just said, cases of possessed superb self-confidence and belief. I think that's accountable for everyone over here. If we want to become great speakers, we just need to have our self-confidence and we need to believe in ourselves. That's something I realized, 11 years later, or 11 or 10 years later, while becoming a Toastmaster. If I want to become a speaker, if I want to be one of the best speakers, I have to have the confidence and I have to have the personal belief. And this is something this book has taught me so many years later. I do hope you guys can read it. You can definitely find it online. It's available if you search The Dangerous Book of Heroes PDF. You can download it on your phone, Apple or Android. No worries. If you want Google, take Google as well. Still the Android server. But that, I would say, is my review on the story. Like on this book, really. I've not dwelt into so much detail, but I hope you guys can take away something from this book that's impacted my life. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, David. The way you speak about it definitely gives me inspiration to get my hands on that book. Thank you. Okay, I'll share my screen here. All right. The next achievement in the year 2021 of the world is something which not many must have even dreamt of. Take a guess what I'm hinting at. Yes. Yes, it is the first human space flight which took off in July. Just visiting space for being like a tourist, something we must have never even thought of during our childhood days. But a couple of them have dared to bring it in pictures. The Blue Origin founder, Jeff Bezos, flew on the company's first crewed space flight in July on a mission that marked his company's entrance into the sector of suborbital tourism. The NS-19 mission brought Blue Origin to 14 people launched to space in 2021. The year has seen a flurry of private human space flight activity, with 3 US companies bringing the passengers past the edge or space or all the way to the orbit. From start to finish, this launch lasted for about 11 minutes. The crew experienced for about 3 minutes of weightlessness. Amazing. What an experience it must be. Now, the next thing was in 2021, this news published on 18th June is surely going to make you think twice before you have a vanilla flavored ice cream or a cake. This vanilla is, in the future, your vanilla ice cream may be made from plastic bottles. Yes, you heard me right, from plastic bottles. In the future, your vanilla ice cream may be made from these plastic bottles. Scientists have figured out a way to convert this plastic, the waste plastic bottles, into vanilla flavoring with genetically engineered bacteria. According to a new study, the demand for vanillin, it far exceeds the vanilla bean supply. And so scientists had to do some, have resorted to find this vanilla from synthetically produced vanillin. For the new study, researchers used a novel method to convert this plastic waste, and as a way to both supply vanillin and reduce this plastic pollution. So I don't know if many of us are going to give up the ice creams listening to this news, or we are going to really check upon the organic things which we eat. All right. Now there's one more here. It is just out of the blue, a symbol of love, which took place in Burhanpur, a very small town in Madhya Pradesh. This man, he builds a Taj Mahal replica home for his wife. This news was published on 29th November. And okay, here after this, I think I can just share the not so good part of my life of in 2021. And this day is etched in my mind. It is the 31st May, 2021. This story, it's like which brings a smile as well as it can't go without a tear in my eyes. I was supposed to attempt my level 4 project with an esteemed guest called over, and it was a big deal to me as well as to the club. I was excited and nervous for the same time. It was a successful meeting. I was euphoric after the meeting, but my family didn't seem to be on the same page, which bothered me. After a while in the evening, they cautiously let the cat out of the bag. My dear aunt, to whom I was very dear and who holds a special place even in my heart, she left for her heavenly abode one day before, 30th May. And it is always going to remain with me because somehow I am obliged to my family also for recognizing the what Toastmasters holds for me. It is so special to me. They had seen me preparing, they had seen me being excited, and they didn't want to disturb me. This is why they kept the news away from me. Only after I finished all my projects that day, my meeting at night, they told me about this aunt, and it was a devastating news to me. Somehow, but yes, she is there with me, I know. Okay, now I think let us just get over this and I will go to the next slide. Yeah, coming to the entertainment. What is the #1 movie of year 2021? It is the Spider-Man. How many of you have seen this movie? Not many? Go for it. A movie which was released on 16th December 2021. According to the CNBC reports, this Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, outspaced the Sunday box office estimates to become the second highest domestic opening of all the time. In doing so, the No Way Home Spider-Man surpassed the $1 million 257 million haul made by Avengers Infinity War in 2018. As quoted by Sean Robbins, a chief analyst at the boxoffice.com, said, moviegoers are embracing this event film and the theatrical experience is driving it. Go and have a look at this movie. So with this, I end my stint as the TMOD of the day. Thank you very much for listening to everything what I shared. I would like to, thank Toastmaster Rajalakshmi and Toastmaster Shiva, who attended our meeting even after their office hours. Thank you so much. Yes, a small token of appreciation to DTM Hashim. This goes to you, and thank you, DTM Hashim.
Thank you.
It
Thank
is
you.
my privilege, yes, to have you in my club and as a guest, and it's really, we are going to benefit for the contest. Thank you very much. With this, I call our meeting number 53 closed for the day. Thank you so much. Would anyone like to share anything here? Or we can call it off, call the day off.
This? You want this?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Amita.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night. Toastmaster Deepansh.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to say sorry to you. Somehow in that mess in the beginning, I forgot that you were supposed to be the Sa, and somehow only David is taking up this role, and that is how I called David for the Sa. I'm very sorry for this.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay, and yeah, anything else I'm missing out on?
Ma'am, actually, I was supposed to be the R counter also.
Okay, so now actually only DTM Hashim has left. Would you like to read out the counter report?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Toastmaster David, yeah, you had 15 hours and you repeated the word and multiple number of times. Toastmasters PMOD Miss Amita, you had 23 hours and you repeated the phrase for you multiple number of times. Toastmaster Nishita, since you did not have much of speaking, you just had 4 hours. Toastmaster Rajalakshmi had 2 hours. Toastmaster Shiva Mamedi had 4 hours. Toastmaster Hashim had 33 hours and he repeated right multiple number of times in various sentences. Toastmaster Sridevi had 11 hours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Deepansh. I'm glad to see someone else is exceeding my hours and ums. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone. Good night.
Thank you all. Good night.
Good night.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Love
New Year,
you.
everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.